Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video is a theory I have to the lockstep reaction we see in the world today. As you know by now, I think the population is being programmed to do exactly what it is doing, and this video is my proof. Mr. Spice, Mr. Hayes, Mr. Ezekiel, Ben, are you ready to vet my theory? Let's begin, shall we? According to the New York Post, under Millennials are the most bisexual generation of all time, June 2nd, 2016. Quote, bisexuality is booming, with the number of people who bed men and women more than doubling, a study says. Some 7.7% revealed they had bi romps in 2014, compared to the 3.1% in 1990. Stop! So as you can see, we have a 4.6% increase in homosexuality in only 14 years. And that can only mean there is a program at work. How else do you rationalize such an increase? Remember, this means the gays who died out were replenished and increased 4.6% more. And I don't think such an increase in such a short period of time can go under your pseudo-natural selection bullocks either. To add to the mathematic enigma, let's continue, please. Quote, in the same period, the percentage of men who reported having had sex with at least one man rose from 4.5% to 8.2%. And the number of women who said they had bedded at least one female leapt from 3.6% to 8.7%. Example. So as you can see, women have been affected by the programming at a higher rate than men. But that was only a sidebar observation. I want you to focus on the fact all factors reported thus far are in the same area of increases, plus or minus a couple of tenths of a point. People, that is amazing for such a countercultural decision. You got two choices. You can believe that somehow, in some way, the same ratio of people, men and women alike, turn to the dark side of sexual morality at the exact same time, or you can realize they are those who responded to a program. I know by now you're wondering what type of program I'm talking about. Well, I don't know. But I do know programs to nudge society into certain directions is a common occurrence. You don't believe me? According to Wikipedia, under social engineering, political science, quote, listen up, people. Social engineering is a discipline. Stop! Remember, anytime the word discipline is attached, it's a program. Let's continue. Quote, social engineering is a discipline in social sciences that refers to efforts to influence particular attitudes and social behaviors on a large scale, whether by governments, media, or private groups in order to produce desired characteristics in a target population. Stop! Bingo! Remember when I told you what my boy likes to say in respect to the evildoer's approach to things in the last days? You remember, don't you? All hands on deck, throw in the kitchen sink, and nothing is too impossible to try? As we can see, the standard method for social engineering is used in one form or another. This particular satanic programming, compliments of the daughter of the Chaldeans, is using all of the available forms at once. Doesn't the government have its hand, mind, and soul in the homosexual agenda? Doesn't the media have its hand, mind, and soul in the homosexual agenda? And having private groups wrap their hands, mind, and souls around the homosexual agenda? I can't hear your answer because this is a video. But if you said yes, X marks the spot. But let's continue, shall we? Quote, social engineering can also be understood philosophically as a deterministic phenomenon where the intentions and goals of the architects of this new social construct are realized. Let me say that again. Social engineering can also be understood philosophically as a deterministic phenomenon where the intentions and goals of the architects of the new social construct are realized. Stop. Well, damn. They are doing this to us too. Changing the macho construct to a new social sissy construct. Notice, right after the Orlando incident, not only did staunch opponents of gay rights say their hearts have changed, get this one now. Bill O'Reilly, yes, Bill O'Reilly, said he is now in favor of gun control. The sinners just got lucky because hell just froze over. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Hegelianized plan of social engineering, plain and simple. Evil genius, really. But hey, what do you expect from the red-haired white devil? This is why all of the male homosexuals have the exact same Walking Dead look going on in their spirits. Why they act the exact same way, look the exact same way, and sound the exact same way. That brings me to something. There's a gay guy that works at the QT I get my morning tea from some mornings. And just the time it takes to pour the water, seat the tea bag, and pay, this guy has gone from his normal male voice to his I will suck a man's cock voice 3 or 4 times before I can get out the door. This can only mean that voice. All straight men know what voice I'm talking about too. That voice that makes you want to slap him just like the thing he is trying to be. Yeah, that voice. Is this new information tells me that voice is a result of social engineering. Hey, if you like a man, that's on you. But why do you have to act in the sissified manner that you do? That voice has nothing to do with being tutti-frutti in the booty. Same thing with the lesbians. If you like chicks, why do you think you must look like an ugly-ass dude? That's another thing I don't get. If a lesbian don't want a dude, why would she get a girl who is trying her hardest to look like an ugly-ass dude? To do the exact same thing a real dude can and more. It was just a question. I don't mean nothing by it. Wait, since I'm talking about it, am I the only person to notice the word sex has been replaced with the word gender? It's because sex is biological. No getting around it. Gender is, well, ambiguous as hell. Just my observation. I don't mean nothing by it. Let's continue, shall we? Here is why I have been calling it a program thus far. Quote, social engineering gives us the scientific method to analyze and understand social systems in order to design the appropriate methods to achieve the desired results in the human subjects. Oh, damn! Let me read that again. Please listen up to this. Listen to what these crackers doing to you. Social engineering gives us the scientific method to analyze and understand social systems in order to design the appropriate methods to achieve the desired results in the human subjects. Stop! Bingo! According to Wikipedia under scientific method, quote, the scientific method is a body of techniques for investigating phenomena, acquiring new knowledge, or correcting and integrating previous knowledge. Stop! Bingo! This proves everything I'm saying thus far. They are using a body of techniques Hegelianism, to see what the wild card called mankind will do in this or that situation. But that was just the tricky part. Did you hear the big fig Newton? No? I'm talking about the part where it said, quote, integrating previous knowledge. Isn't that what neo-paganism is all about? You are nothing more than lab rats, Hegelianized lab rats, being put into position for the evildoer's final demonic neo-pagan solution. Remember, phagonometry is common or not frowned upon in neo-paganism. But let's continue with the original article on social construct, shall we? Perceptual context. I want you to listen to how the life you thought was your own is nothing more or less than an ancient matrix. You don't believe me, do you? Quote, decision making can affect the safety and survival of literally billions of people. The scientific theory expressed by German sociologist Ferdinand Tönnies, Tonnies, in his study, The Present Problems of Social Structure, proposes that society can no longer operate successfully using outmoded methods of social management. To achieve the best outcomes, all conclusions and decisions must use the most advanced techniques and included reliable statistical data, which can be applied to social systems. Stop! According to Google and Seeker, under actual science, which is ACTUARIAL, ACTUARIAL, science is the discipline that applies mathematical and statistical methods to assess risk in insurance, finance, and other industries and professions. Actuaries, which is those people, are professionals who are qualified in this field through intense education and experience. Example, do you still think I'm crazy? I told you before, whenever the word discipline is involved, it's a program. This program discipline requires the same intense education and experience in this craft of sorceries as does the hoodoo man in his witchcraft. What other field of study have you ever heard needed intense education and experience? This is the reason why there is so many polls for this and that. A survey for this and a survey for that. Home Depot wants your phone number, email address, and fecal sample just to buy a rake. You are nothing more than bits and pieces of information running through the evildoer's systematic algorithms of the appointed construct. And whatever the sum, the society is Hegelianized into that direction. I hear everything goes in cycles, and they are tapping into certain patterns for profit and power. I called it an ancient matrix before because of who this culmination of sorceries was devised by. A German sociological genius at the exact same time of the rise of Adolf Hitler. And everybody knows Hitler was down with some ancient wild shit. How do I know what I'm saying is true? Because of the simple fact of he made it through the war without being killed. And that can only mean he probably headed some of Hitler's psychological warfare departments. You got to read between the lines, people. But I know. I'm a colored, and 2 dimes and a colored's understanding don't add up to $1. Okay, let's continue, shall we? See if this next part doesn't ring true in modern day times.